Good morning, dear students of class 12. Welcome to the English online learning class. Today we are going to take up revision of the lesson Indigo by Louis Fisher. Louis Fisher has written a book on Mahatma Gandhi, the life of Mahatma Gandhi. This lesson Indigo is an excerpt from his book. And the life of Mahatma Gandhi book has been reviewed as one of the best books ever written on Gandhiji by Times Educational Supplement. So in this lesson, Louis Fisher describes Gandhiji's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran who were the sharecroppers with the British planters. They led a miserable life and were forced to grow indigo according to a long-time agreement. They suffered a great injustice due to the landlord system in Bihar. Gandhiji waged a war for about a year against their atrocities and brought justice to the poor peasants. Now, Louis Fisher is describing his conversation with Gandhiji. When he first visited Gandhiji in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram in central India, Gandhiji said, "I am going to tell you how it happened that I decided to urge the departure of the British, and it was in the year 1970. He had gone to the December 1916 annual convention of the Indian National Congress, and there he met a peasant called Rajkumar Shukla, who introduced himself saying that he has come from Champaran, and he wanted Gandhiji to come with him to his district." So the lesson describes Indigo, Gandhiji's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran. In those days, most of the arable land in Champaran district was divided into large states owned by the Englishmen and worked by Indian tenants. The chief commercial crop was indigo, and the landlords compelled all peasants to plant 15% of their land with indigo and surrendered the entire indigo harvest as rent, and this was done by long-term agreement. The British didn't need the indigo anymore, the reason being Germany had developed synthetic indigo. And just to release the peasants from the 15% agreement, they demanded compensation. Some illiterate peasants agreed, but others refused. Now, one of the sharecroppers, named Rajkumar Shukla, met Gandhiji in this regard and compelled him to visit Champaran because of the long-term injustice of the landlords. He met him in the Lucknow convention of the Indian National Congress, and it was in the year 1916 in December. And this peasant, he almost urged Gandhiji to come with him. Gandhiji finally agreed. There were many other work which Gandhiji, prior appointments which Gandhiji was supposed to attend. But then the poor peasant's tenacity impressed Gandhiji, and finally he agreed. Then the two of them boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. From there, Shukla led him to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad. Now at that time, Rajendra Prasad ji was a lawyer, but later on he became the president of the Congress party and then of India. Mahatma Gandhi's humble and simple attire made the servants mistook him as another poor peasant. He surveyed before taking any vital step, in order to get those peasants justice. So Gandhiji did not take any step immediately. Before reaching Champaran, he surveyed the entire situation very closely. It was the time when the British government punished those who in any condition gave shelter to the national leader of protesters. So, Gandhiji's arrival and the nature of his mission spread like wildfire. Many lawyers and peasants groups they came in large numbers to support him. The lawyers accepted the fact that their charges were high, and for the poor peasant it will be irksome. Gandhiji rebuked them for collecting big fee from the sharecroppers. He stressed on counseling them, as this would give the peasants enough confidence to fight their fear. So his main concern was that the peasants should be free from fear so they can fight for their injustice. Now he managed to get justice after a year-long battle for the peasants. He also made arrangements for education, health and hygiene for the families of the poor peasants. So his concern was not to just give political solution, but social cultural upliftment of Champaran. And finally, he gave them the lesson of self-reliance. So if we look at the gist of the lesson, we have here Rajkumar Shukla, a poor sharecropper from Champaran. He wishes to meet Gandhiji. He is illiterate, resolute, and he meets Gandhiji in Lucknow and follows him from Lucknow to Kanpur, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, and finally Gandhiji agrees to go with him. And then they both go together to Patna, and then to Muzaffarpur, and then Champaran. Because Rajkumar Shukla, he wants Gandhiji to come with him to Champaran to solve the problem of the people of Champaran. Now, the servants, when they go to Patna, and they halt in the house of Rajendra Prasad. The servants at Rajendra Prasad's residence thought Gandhiji to be an untouchable. Gandhiji is considered as an untouchable because of his simple style and bearing. And due to the company of Rajkumar Shukla, he is allowed. But the condition is that he would stay outside and not draw water from the well. Then they decide to go to Muzaffarpur. And the reason why he halted at Muzaffarpur was Gandhiji wanted to get a detailed information about the Champaran sharecroppers. Before reaching Muzaffarpur, he already telegrammed J.B. Kriplani and stayed in Professor Malkani's house, who was at that time a government servant. And it was a courage on his part to allow Gandhiji, who was an advocate of home rule, to stay in his house at the cost of punishment from the British officials. Now, those Indians who showed sympathy to the supporters of home rule, they were punished. The news of Gandhiji's arrival spread like wildfire. Sharecroppers, they gathered in large number to meet their champion Masiha. Now here at Muzaffarpur, Gandhiji studied the types of cases brought by the peasants. And when he learnt that peasants charged high fee, he scolded the Muzaffarpur lawyers for taking high fees and cheating the peasants. Now, Champaran district was divided into states owned by the English people. Indians only tenant farmers. Indians were only tenant farmers. Landlords compelled tenants to plant 15% of their land with indigo and surrendered their entire harvest as rent. Now, in the meantime, Germany had developed synthetic indigo. British landlords freed the Indian farmers from the 15% arrangement, but asked them to pay compensation. Now, many peasants signed. Some resisted. They engaged lawyers and landlord hired thugs. Gandhiji reached Champaran and he visited the secretary of the British Landlord Association to get the facts, but was denied as he was an outsider. Gandhiji went to British official commissioner who asked him to leave Tirhut. Gandhiji disobeyed and he went to Motihari, the capital of Champaran, where a vast multitude greeted him, and he continued his investigation. When he was on his way to show his concern for a maltreated villager, he was stopped by the police superintendent, but he disobeyed the order. Motihari was black with peasants because Gandhiji was asked to appear in court. He got a summon for disobeying the orders of the superintendent of police to leave Tirhut. It was the Motihari was black with peasants. Spontaneous demonstrations were there. Gandhiji did not ask the peasants to collect, but they came on their own. Finally, the court could not carry on the proceedings, and Gandhiji was released without bail. Civil disobedience triumphed. Then, finally, an inquiry was set up. And in this inquiry, it was proved that the Indian peasants were exploited. And the situation reached where the landlords, British landlords, had to pay compensation. But how much compensation they should pay? They feared that Gandhiji would demand 100% compensation. But Gandhiji demanded 50%. And finally, agreement was reached for 25% refund by the landowners. It symbolized the surrender of the prestige because that was more important. And the Indian peasants, they were now free from fear. They got courage to fight for their rights, and that was more important. The long-term benefits of this refund was of this defeat of the British landlords was that the British landowners, they could no longer live in the place where their prestige was at stake. And so they left their states, and Indian peasants, they became the real owners of their land. So Gandhiji had given political solution to the people of Champaran. But that was not enough. Gandhiji worked hard towards social, economic reforms. He tried to elevate their distress, and here he was aided by his wife and Mahadev Desai, his youngest son, and the volunteers like Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parekh, doctors, and of the local volunteers, and they all worked together for uplifting the place Champaran and removing and working for the cultural and social upliftment of the area. Gandhiji taught a lesson of self-reliance by not taking the help of Englishman Mr. Charles Freer Andrews when he was asked by his lawyer friends and other volunteers that Charles Freer Andrews can join them in the struggle for freedom. Gandhiji refused, and what he meant was that we should be strong enough to fight our own battle, and we should not take help of an outsider. So self-reliance, Indian independence, and help to the sharecroppers, they were all bound together, and which set the stage for the freedom of our country from the British rule. Thank you. Have a nice day and take care.